welcome to my channel and welcome to another art class. This one is going to be about drawing portraits with just a few lines like Henri Matisse. As usual, I will start with a brief introduction about the artist, then I'll show some references, some of his drawings, and then I'll present you the exercises followed by a demonstration. So if you want to learn how to draw portraits like Matisse with just a few lines, vibrant brushstrokes, stay tuned until the end. Let's get started. Henri Matisse was born in 1869 and he died in 1954. He was a French painter and one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. He's known for his bold colors, expressive lines, as we're going to see next, and an innovative approach to form. He became a leading figure of the movement Fauvism, a movement that celebrated vivid, non-naturalistic colors. Throughout his career, Matisse experimented with painting, drawing, sculpture, printmaking, and his later famous paper cutouts, which he created after illness limited his mobility. His work is celebrated for its energy, simplicity, and joyful use of color. Matisse's vision helped to shape modern art, and his style continues to inspire thousands of artists around the world. Now I'm going to share with you some of his drawings, and for that I'm going to share my screen to show you the Met Museum website. Due to copyright I cannot download the images, so we're going to visit the website and make some comments about his pieces. Okay, so now I'm sharing my screen. As you can see, we are at the Met Museum website. I searched for Henri Matisse, and so we can see here some of his works. But we're going to focus on his portrait, so we can open this one, and as we can see, the portrait is in the center of the page, even though it's cropped here at the top. This is a lithograph, and we can see that the lines are very simple, quick mark making, uses straight lines, and he combined also with these curly, swirly lines in the air to create this contrast between lines. He uses this a lot, this line that goes from the eyebrow and goes down to the tip of the nose. He uses this a lot, as we're going to see in other drawings. The shape of the head, this part of the face, is probably made just with one quick line. Maybe he started here in the ear and does this. He also includes a bit of the neck and also the shirt. The eyes are also very quick marks. They are not exactly the same, so he doesn't draw one eye and then the other one exactly the same to create this, this dynamic drawing. Then we're going to see another one. I will leave this one for later. Let's focus now on one of his self-portraits. This one is graphite on paper, and as we can see, he like squeezes his head inside of the sheet of paper. So it's not that classic thing that we learned that it's a circle and another one to draw the face like in 3/4 position. He squeezes here the top part of his head. Again, the lines are very confident, and he adds this part of his beard. So it's a very clean drawing. We can see that he didn't repeat his marks. He made them a la prima. So the first time that the pencil touched the paper, the drawing was made. Now let's see this drawing as well. As the first one that I showed is in the center of the page, is like floating. We can see the overall shape of the head. We can see the hair, again this line that goes from the eyebrow and goes down to the tip of the nose. The eyes, again with some detail here, the eye sockets, the lips are made probably just with one line, with one continuous line that drew this top part of the lip, and the middle, and then the bottom. Again, it includes a bit of the neck and also part of the shirt. And this one is also a lithograph. Now let's see another one of same style. Again, another self-portrait here. This one is a bit different from the previous one. The previous self-portrait that I showed, I preferred the first one, but similar to the previous drawings that I've been showing, is in the center of the page. The face is not cropped, and again, this shape of the head is distorted, which creates a very interesting effect. Again, this line that goes from the eyebrow to the tip of the nose includes the neck, also part of the shirt, and his beard and hair just with a few dashes. And we're going to look at these two drawings. Let me open this one. Again, this one is not floating in the center of the page as we have been seeing in previous drawings. This one is zoomed in, it cropped parts of the face, which creates this more dramatic effect, which I think is very interesting. So it's also important for us to think of how we are going to frame our drawing. Instead of just placing it in the center of the page, floating, we can zoom in the cropped parts of the face that creates this very interesting effect. Again, it combines, let me zoom just a little tiny bit, it combines these lines that are more like shaky compared with these ones that are very straight and confident. Then we have this like a necklace or part of the shirt that creates this connection with the hair and contrasts with the other types of lines. Again, the eyes are not exactly the same, and again, this line that goes from the eyebrow to draw the nose, and the lips are also very simple. This one follows the same idea from the previous one. Again, this zoomed in part of the hair is cropped. Look at this inclination of the eyes, and also again this line drawing the eyebrow and the nose at the same time. Okay, so from this type of drawings, that is it. Now let's have a look at these ones that look like they're made with a brush. Some of them are lift ground aqua tint. The idea is the same. Quick marks, very simplified shapes and lines, but again, this line that goes from the eyebrow to the tip of the nose, the lips are drawn in a similar way, the eyes is just like a blot of ink, and the hair to create this dynamic effect. And these faces are a bit different. It's a composition, but we have some like round shapes, ellipses, but again, this line, eyebrow, nose is very common in his drawings, so we are going to pay attention to that when we are drawing our portraits. Then we have this one in a different perspective. It's slightly, the face is looking to the side, it's like a 3/4 position, and we can see that this part of the head and the nose was made with just one brush stroke, and then this one as well, the jaw, again the inclination of the eyes, the inclination of the eyebrows. The eyebrows are key to draw facial expressions, so pay attention to that when you're drawing. Yeah, this one is lift ground on aqua tint, and let's just show the last one, that is a face floating on a page. just like an egg shape, and again this line of the nose, lips very simple, eyes, and the other eyebrow. Now we already have these references in mind, and I'm going to present you the exercises. Overall, it will take around 30 minutes, so it's very quick drawings. The first exercise is to practice lines for about 5 minutes. The idea is to make several types of lines, like quick ones, fast lines, slow lines, curved, straight, curly, wavy, and apply also different types of or different levels of pressure. The second exercise are 2 portrait sketches that are actually then more drawings, but the idea is I'm going to show you 2 photographs, and we're going to draw each photograph 3 times. So the first one, for example, we draw the first photograph, and then based on that drawing we're going to simplify one more time, and then we're going to simplify the drawing even more. I'm going to demonstrate it, so don't worry, you will see what I mean when I'm drawing. Then the third exercise is based on those last drawings, the ones that are very simplified. We pick up those that we're going to make just with graphite pencil, but we're going to pick up those and make them on an A5 sheet of paper using brush and ink to see how the same drawing feels different and looks different with a different material. And then the last exercise is to practice faces for 10 minutes. The idea is for you to fill a page, like an A4 or an A3, and the idea is to draw faces from imagination using pencil, pen, and ink and brush. So it's a free exercise. I'm also going to demonstrate, so stay tuned to see how I respond to these exercises. I have my sketchbook here, and I'm going to use graphite pencil, and for a few minutes I'm going to practice how to draw several types of lines. Remember to apply different levels of pressure, for example, very light, and then apply more pressure. It creates this type of line that has much more life and energy. Remember that line that Matisse uses that goes from the eyebrow to the nose? We can also practice that, doing something like this, almost like an S shape. Okay, I think that is enough. I already warmed up, and now let's move to the next exercise. For the next exercise, the idea is to create something like this. So based on a photograph, I make a drawing that is already a little bit more simplified, and then next I make another one, removing some of the lines, and then the next drawing is made even quicker and even more simplified, just selecting the main lines to describe the face. This is the image that we are going to draw. You can start by drawing the overall shape of the head, the hair. I'm using different levels of pressure, drawing this line that goes from the eyebrow to the nose. adding a little bit of the neck and the shirt. Can add some more details here, the ear. And that's it. Next, I'm going to look at this drawing and simplify it a little bit and try to make it faster. The idea is not to be focused on accuracy, on if the drawing resembles the person or not. It's just to practice to draw this type of portraits, not focused on making the drawing exactly like the person, but to use this photograph as just a reference. And now I'm going to look at this one and simplify it even more. And let's see if I can add the eyebrow here. So we went this to this to this one. This is our second reference. Again, I start by drawing the overall shape of the head. Okay, that's it. Then our next drawing. And now our last drawing. The next exercise, we are supposed to pick up these two drawings, the last ones, and then draw them on an A5 sheet of paper using ink and brush. I'm going to use this brush pen that already has ink, but feel free to use a brush and ink separate. The second exercise is completed, and now we are going to move to the next exercise. The idea is to draw faces from imagination, so feel free to create whatever you want using pen, pencil and brush. And that's it, our page is filled with faces, people with different expressions, with the eyes open, eyes closed, and I think this is a good exercise to practice faces, to practice your lines, to develop your own style, so feel free to try this at home. And our art class has come to an end. I hope that you had enjoyed it. If so, click the like button below. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this class, if there is something else that you want to see in future art classes. If you made drawings and posted them on Instagram, tag me so I can see your drawings. If you want, you can subscribe my channel so you don't miss more art classes like this and other videos related with art history and drawing. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.